West Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, throwing down, whatever. Now, making a quick astrology report here. I am in Hollywood here on Sunset Boulevard. It's nice little neighborhood here. One of the nicest places in LA, for sure. And I'm just going to be talking about the upcoming week ahead. We have the moon is going to be going through the section of the zodiac that's related to the soul's liberation. The first section of the zodiac is related to creation, occurring from Aries to Cancer, then established creation with the world and all of the stuff of the world and the stuff of life has to do with the Leo to Scorpio section of the zodiac. And then the soul becoming liberated has to do with the Sagittarius to Pisces end of the zodiac. Suddenly it got loud here, so it'll get quiet in a second. So on Monday we have the moon entering Capricorn halfway through Monday, and then so for mainly for Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday, the moon will be in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Now there's still an exchange between Saturn and Venus, which is promoting our relationship stability and our relationship structure, meaning that when planets exchange like that, when you get one planet in the sign ruled by another and vice versa, it's this very cooperative environment. So for instance, the fact that Saturn is in Libra ruled by Venus and Venus is in Aquarius ruled by Saturn shows that Venus-Saturn energy is very cooperative right now, especially considering that they're friendly with each other and Saturn is even exalted. So a lot of potential to work through relationship problems, maybe even on a surprising level, things that you never thought you would go back and try to face, you might be facing now because of this Venus-Saturn cooperative environment. So we're going to be experiencing a lot of that this week because, like I said, halfway through Monday and then Tuesday and Wednesday, the moon will be in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, and then Thursday and Friday, the moon is in Aquarius, which of course is also ruled by Saturn. And in particular, on Thursday and Friday, the moon has also joined Venus. It's joined Venus in Aquarius, and it's aspected by Jupiter. So Thursday and Friday this week is definitely, there will definitely be a lot of, potential for making a lot of growth, not only in relationships, but in your personal philosophies and business and a lot of things. Because, again, Venus and Saturn will be working together. So really any houses that they rule in your chart will be fortified by that cooperative exchange, and of course the things that they rule as a karaka or as an indicator are also strengthened. And again, Venus is the karaka or the indicator of happiness, relationship happiness, and Saturn of persevering through difficulty and facing stressful situations. So those things can really be held together this week with the moon going through those Saturn-ruled signs and Saturn having that exchange with Venus. So again, on Thursday and Friday, with the moon in Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn, the moon will also be joined Venus. So Moon-Venus conjunction it brings a lot of creativity and a lot of desire for happiness, but also a real sense of well-being and joy in our life. This is what Venus is. It's really the joy of life. And so Moon-Venus conjunction on Thursday and Friday will be very powerful, especially aspected by Jupiter. So Jupiter is in Gemini, and it's aspecting that transit of the moon through Aquarius. Now we're also this week that what's called the cardinal cross in Western astrology is going to really come together. I believe it's on the 22nd and 23rd, which is early in the week. We're going to really feel that those conjunctions, or I'm sorry, those aspects that it's being referred to as the cardinal cross in Western astrology. And I did a report on my webinar that you should check out, where I talk about the mutable cross. It's actually in mutable signs using sidereal zodiac. So we're feeling a lot of that sort of strain and stress, so we might see some movement in a lot of the world events that are tangled up, and you might see some real movement in some of the events in your life that have been issues that seem to be, that you seem to be stuck with. World events may really reflect those planets squaring off with each other. Because that's what's happening with this cross, whether it's a cardinal cross or a mutable cross. You have a lot of these planets squaring each other, like for instance, Jupiter and Mars, Uranus, Pluto. These are the planets in play. So you want to check out my webinar on the eclipses, because we had that lunar eclipse on the 15th, but now we're working up to that solar eclipse on the 28th into the 29th. And the solar eclipse is really the one that shows a lot of the actions and a lot of the energy, because, oh, here we got a little story here. Look, Ma Davy. You see Ma right there behind me. I saw her, I had to stop. Anyway, the eclipse, the solar eclipse is really the one that shows the prevailing energy, because it's the sun. And it's when the sun joins the node that we have the eclipse, that we have the eclipse month. When the sun joins either node, that's when we have the eclipse. Then on the new moon we have an eclipse, and the full moon. So early next week, on the 28th into the 29th, we have the solar eclipse in Aries. Again, it's very powerful because we have an exalted sun being eclipsed and opposed by an exalted Saturn. So again, we're feeling this is a cardinal cross of another nature, because these cardinal signs are where we're having the eclipse. We're having the eclipse in the Aries-Libra axis with two exalted planets involved. So a lot of transformative stuff happening right now. It's definitely a time when a lot of our stresses and fears, especially around others, are coming to the forefront, and we're being challenged to rethink what is possible in relation to others. I know that truck looked a lot closer than it was. I'm a safe distance from the road. But we're really being challenged to extend ourselves beyond what we think is possible, especially in relation to others. Of course, romantic relationships bring that into play, but also any kind of social inequalities, or even, misdeeds that we've done, or other kinds of mistakes we've made. We're being challenged to have more compassion for ourselves, more compassion for others, and that's also culturally, socially, with these big shifts right now. And obviously they're great opportunities for those who want to, or who are able to, and who are inspired by service and contribution. There's never been more opportunity for those kinds of, paradigms and new beginnings. So all that sounds very generic, but in light of the specific astrology, there's a lot of opening and a lot of possibility once you start looking specifically. Like, I've been doing a lot of consultations now, a lot of astrology consultations, and everyone is feeling a lot of stress and pressure to change and transform, but it's changing and transforming along these lines. There's not like a single person, I don't think, that I've talked to in the last couple of weeks with doing the consultations that I started doing. Not a single person is really just out for themselves. And I'm really inspired by that. I'm inspired by you. People are really understanding that, it can't just be about me and my happiness. And it's about ownership of our part in our unhappiness and our contribution to, how our unhappiness is contributed to by our selfishness, and that now is a great opportunity to be courageous and to grow not only in happiness but in contribution. And so, this week with the moon going through that section of the zodiac that culminates in Pisces, which is about leaving this mortal coil behind and letting go, it's a very rich kind of metaphor for this week. And I encourage you, if you haven't seen my web class on the eclipse, you need to check it out, because I talk about the eclipses, this specific eclipse cycle, this cardinal configuration, what's called the cardinal cross, but I talk about it in the terms of a mutable cross using sidereal zodiac, and I talk about it for all 12 signs. So you should really, I'm sure you would really benefit from that. I mean, as someone who is watching this video now, you're obviously someone interested in this, and it's something that would benefit you. It's totally free. So I really encourage you to, if you haven't seen that, then see it. If you have seen it, watch it again. Watch the replay again. If you had a problem logging on, which some people did actually, then you were sent the replay link. Watch the replay. It'll definitely be worth it. I've got great feedback on that. It's free, you don't have to buy anything. But aside from that, it's a very transformative week, especially Thursday and Friday with the moon going through Aquarius, joined Moon and Venus. With the moon joined Venus in Aquarius and aspected by Jupiter. Great opportunity for, expansion and openness. And then over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday with the moon in Pisces, it'll be opposite Mars, but the moon in Pisces is very mystical, and it's about surrendering and letting go of our fascination with the world. And unless we're willing to let go and see ourselves in a more expanded way, letting go in the sense of, letting go of our identity and feeling like everything revolves around me and my needs and my desires, we're always going to be chained by those things. So anyway, enough philosophizing. A little bit of Sunset Boulevard if you've never been. It's nice. I like this part of LA. Really, it's one of the only parts of LA that I really like to hang out in. Not like I hang out here a lot, but you see that Hollywood Hills. It's kind of dry here though. I've been dry and I've needed to drink a lot of water. So if you come to LA, remember it's kind of dry. Anyway, have a good one.